Hello everyone. I thought we might do an exercise class from home, given that we're spending so much time at home now, and just to continue working on keeping our muscles strong, working on our coordination, our balance and standing, postural alignment and sitting, and all the things that you do in the class on a weekly basis. So hopefully it will encourage you to continue doing the exercises at home, and you could just play this and listen to it or watch it or both. Put it on 2 or 3 times a week, and it should maintain physical ability at these times. Okay, so we'll start with a little warm-up like we do in the class. So we'll start just with a little march in place. So it's sitting up nice and tall and just getting a little push back from the elbows. You could do this in standing as well when you're standing at home by yourselves, or in sitting. And then just working away, just trying to loosen out a little bit. Sitting up nice and tall. And this part of the class is the warm-up really. Trying to loosen out our muscles and joints and all the tissues around the joints, and just to prepare ourselves mentally and physically for the exercise class. Okay, so we'll sit out a little bit further in the chair then, and sitting up nice and tall, just going to move our feet up and down, heels and toes. Roll back onto the heels, forward onto the toes. Hands down, making a fist at the same time, and then just making a little circular movement at the wrist. Loosen out the tissues around the wrists because we're going to be using the weights, and circle the opposite direction. Okay, so 2 feet flat on the floor, then sitting out in the front of the chair. We'll just get our pelvis in a good position and just align our pelvis just to get our center working. So rolling back onto the tailbone and then rolling forward onto the sitting bones. Thinking of the pelvis as a bucket of water, rolling back, spilling water out the back of your pelvis, rolling forward, spilling water out the front of the pelvis. Rolling back and forward. So your hands just reaching at the top of the pelvis there, like you're holding the brim of the bucket of water. Stopping in the center then, so you're nice and straight and the bucket is straight. And then just to engage your center muscles, take a breath in, breathe out fully, move the hands in slightly at the end of the breath out, draw up through your pelvic floor just to feel a little tightening in the lower tummy muscles. You feel a little drawing out there of the lower tummy against your hands. A nice breath in and out. That's it. And out, holding the center muscle set in that position, and then your center is engaged, ready to keep to maximize stability as you move your legs and move your arms. Lengthening up nice and tall, as if there's a magnet pulling you up towards the ceiling, lengthening through your spine. Opening your collarbones nice and wide and shoulder blades down your spine, making sure the feet are connected fully to the floor. Big toe, little toe and heel. Little gap between the knees. Okay, taking a breath in, breathe out, bringing the arms up and down. Breath in, breath out as you lift. Breath in on the way down. Breath in. Now floating up just to about shoulder height. Bringing the 2 hands forward. That's it, separating the shoulder blades. And then bring the 2 shoulder blades back together and down towards your waist. Reaching forward as if you're giving somebody a big hug. And then breath in, breath out, shoulder blades back and down. Reaching forward and back and down. Bring the two arms down, palms facing out, and reach back, getting a stretch there, widening the collarbones. Keeping your center set all the time. And down. Good. Loosen out the arms a little bit. Two hands up on the shoulders now. And we're going to make some circular movements back. That's it. So if you're drawing a circle with the elbows, nice big circle. Keeping the shoulders down as you do. And down. Good. Okay, two hands up now in a tabletop position. And we're going to bring the hands out, keeping the elbows in and back. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath out. And breath in. Breath out. You feel a stretch there in the front of the shoulders. And back and down. Roll the right shoulder back and the left. Good. Keeping the center set there. So rolling back, dropping the shoulder down. And one more. Good. So all the time loosening out the joints, the shoulder joints. Breath in again. And breath out. As you breathe out, float the two arms up overhead. Hands behind the head. Lifting the shoulders, lowering the shoulders. Lifting the arms and down. Breath in, breath out. Good. Lift the shoulders, lower the shoulders. Lift the arms and down. Breath in again. Breath out. Good. Lift the shoulders. Lower the shoulders. This time getting a little turn. And loosening out the upper body and all the muscles around the shoulders and the cervical and thoracic spine. Back to the center. Lift the arms and down. Roll both shoulders back now. And one more then. Lifting the arms up overhead, hands behind the head. Lift the shoulders, lower the shoulders. Little turn to the right, getting the little twist there in the upper part of the thoracic spine, as if there's a light shining on the front, on your breastbone, and then you're shining the light around to the left and back, right and back. And last one, left and back. Lifting the arms and lowering. Good. Okay, so finish off the warm up then. Just bring the shoulders up to the ears, tight as you can, and drop. Up again, and drop down. Now reach down through the shoulders down to the waist. Reaching the hands down towards the floor. Good. Keeping the center set. Shoulders towards the ears, and down towards the floor. Good. One more. And down. Good. And then just relax the shoulders a bit and they should stay down. And we want to aim to keep the shoulders down as much as we can during the exercises, letting the arms work independently of the shoulders. Good. Okay, so we put on the weights. So just the leg weights. So again, have everything close by. And just nice and tight around the ankles, one at a time. Good. And then reaching for just your hand weights. Okay, so sitting nice and tall in the chair. Again, have everything close by so you can turn around to get it. Good. Sitting nice and tall now, and again a chair without arms, just like we do and have in the class. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall in the chair there, both arms down by your side. We're going to bend up at the elbows, reach up towards the ceiling, bend the two hands back, push back up towards the ceiling, and slowly lower the arms down in front. And we'll aim to do 10. Nice and slowly, breath in, breath out. In, breath out again as you raise. That's it, so keep breathing with the movement. And up and down. Good. And again. And push. Bend in. Back, just getting the triceps, the muscles above the elbows working there as you straighten up in front and lower the arms down. And again, turning the hands, bend up. Feel those biceps working above the elbows, pushing up towards the ceiling. Getting a little bend back, push back up and down. And again. Push up, bend, push back up towards the ceiling, and down. Okay. And again, one more, bending up at the elbows, pushing up towards the ceiling, get a little bend back, push back up. Just go as far as you're able. Don't feel that you have to go the same amount that I do. So you don't want to feel any pain in the joints as you do the movements. So we're going to add in then a sit-to-stand movement. So coming forward in the chair. I'll just move the chair back a little bit so that you can see me. So sitting forward in the chair, 2 feet underneath. Then leaning forward and pushing up into standing. Good. And then from there, we're going to slowly sit back to the chair. So sit to stand, and then we'll lean forward, push up into standing, and sit. Nice and slowly. So as you lean forward to push up, push through the heels into standing, feet apart, little gap between the knees, and then slowly sitting back down so that you're using the muscles to do the movement and not just relying on gravity. Again, lean forward and push, nice and slowly. This is a great exercise because it uses all the muscles around the hips, those big muscles that you need for climbing stairs and for walking, and of course for reacting if you lose your balance so that you can stop and sit. Good. Okay, now this time we're going to add in the upper body movements as before. So into standing, I'm just moving the chair back. Okay, so you can see me again. Okay, bend up at the elbows, push, little bend, push back up into the, straightening the arms, and slowly lower the arms down. Good. Okay, so I'm just moving the chair back a little bit more. And again, if you've got a wall behind, maybe just put the chair against the wall there now. Okay. All right, so we're going to do that exercise as one. Okay, so from standing, and just sit back down. Okay, so barely sitting now. Power up into standing. Bend up at the elbows. Getting a little push up, straightening the arms. Bending back. Push back up and slowly down. Good. Okay, and again. So lots of muscles working. And you're also using your coordination. Balance, a little bit of balance. Watching your posture as you do the exercise. So it's a great exercise. And up. Bend up at the elbows. So it's just really important to make sure that you use weights that are appropriate for you. So you should be able to do the exercise But you should feel like you're challenging yourself a little bit if you're able. And up again. Bend up at the elbows. Getting a little push up. Bending the arms back behind. Push back up and slowly lower down. Good. Okay. Okay, so get a little breather then. We'll do a little roll back at the shoulders. Good. And just pedal the feet a little bit, just to loosen out after that. Okay, so the next exercise we'll do then is for our upper back. So I'm going to turn to the side, and for this one then, we're going to bend the knees, sticking the bum out, and leaning forward from the hips. Okay, keeping your back straight, bringing the two arms out. And for this then, we're going to pull the elbows back and push forward. Keeping the chin in, so don't let the head fall forward. Good. Pull back. Push forward. Good. Now, for this one then, it's important to keep your center set. So just make sure that your navel is pulled towards the spine. Good. And this exercise works all the muscles around the shoulder blades. So really good for those postural muscles that you need to stand up straight. And again, breathe out with the movement, with the effort. Breath in, breath out. Good. Okay, so next one then we're going to pull back, and this time we're going to straighten the elbows, bend and push forward. We'll do 5. Pull back, straighten, bend, push forward. Good. 3 more. Push, and 2 more. And again. 1 more. Bend and push. Good. Okay, so we stand up nice and tall then after that, and just get a little stretch at the hips. Okay, so from there then, so we're going to get a little stretch back. Again, just getting out of that forward posture. Good. So really getting a nice stretch there of all the muscles at the front of the hip, and just stretching the spine back. Good, so 2 hands on the hips as you do that. And again, keep an eye on the shoulders, that they're not coming up towards the ears, that they're down towards the waist. And again. And again. Good. And back. Okay, great. Okay, so standing there then. That's it. And this time then we'll do a little exercise just for the smaller muscles around the shoulders. So we're going to bring the 2 weights together. Again, you'll see my 2 feet are apart, about hip distance apart. Make sure your center is set and that your shoulders aren't up towards the ears, that they're down. Okay, so as if you're holding a newspaper between your trunk and the upper arm, I'm going to bring the weights together and then out. Good, keeping the elbows in as much as possible. Good. And this exercise is for the smaller muscles around the shoulders, the rotator cuff muscles. That's it. So you just bring the forearms in together and out. And those muscles, they don't have a great blood supply. So, and they wear quite in everybody really as you get older. So it's important to mind them because they're the stabilizing muscles and they allow your shoulders to do all the bigger movements. Good. 2 more. Out and back and again. Out and back. Good. And lower the arms. Good. And roll back again at the shoulders. That's it. That's it. Good. Okay, we'll do another little set of those actually. Now we'll just do 10 more. So bend up again. Bringing the weights together. Now really squeeze the weights and out. Good. keep breathing with the movement. And again, it's a good chance to keep an eye on your posture. Good. 2 more. And again. Okay, and down. Okay, and loosen out again a little bit there. Okay, so nice big breath in and out now. Okay, and the next exercise then, we'll do a little side lunge. So we're going to take a step to the right, slightly bigger than hip distance apart, bend the knees and back. Good. Okay, step into the right, knees going down over the feet and push back with that right foot. Right, bend the knees, push back. Good. And again, bend, push. And again. Again, some coordination needed for this, but also some muscle power. So it's strengthen the muscle, but also speed. So we're going out and then pushing back nice and quick with that right foot into standing. Push back. One more now. Push back. Good. Okay. So we'll add in a little upper body work then. So we're going to bring the 2 elbows out. Again, working the muscles on the outside of the shoulders. Again, if you watch, the shoulders are down, trying to bring the elbows up. Good. Good. That's it. So again, all those muscles are needed for carrying items. One more. And the weights will add definition to the muscles, but also help prevent sarcopenia, which is kind of wasting in the muscles that you will see. And what happens really is that the number of muscle fibres decreases as you get older, really from 35 onwards. So by using weights, doing some resistance training, you're trying to keep the bulk in those muscles, in the fibres that are left, in the muscle fibres that are left. So keep the definition in the muscles, as well as keeping you stronger. Okay, so this time we're going to step to the left, bend, push back. Good. Step, bend the knees, push. Good. And remember, it's the left leg this time that's doing the pushing. Good. And push. And again. Push back. 2 more. And push. Good. And all the time you're sitting back into the movement. Okay. So the hips are going back. The knees aren't going out too far over the toes. 1 more. And push. Good. Okay. So if you've got a little tray there beside you, or a table, just put 1 weight on it, or in the back of the chair there. And this time then we're going to bring 1 weight up. Good. Okay, so we're going to bring the weight out in front and back. Good. Okay, so the weight out, and holding it out there, we're going to bend the knees and push up. Good. Lifting the arms. Lower, and bring the weight in. Good. Breath in, breath out with the movement. Bend the knees, straighten back up, lift, and lower. Okay, good. So a lot of elements in this exercise. So we're using the muscles on the upper body, adding in the lower body, pushing back up, reaching up, using the muscles in the shoulders, slowly back and in. Good. We'll do 2 more. So pushing out, good. Bend, push up, lifting the arms and lowering and back. Good. And again, 1 more now. Little bend at the knees, and push up. Lifting the arms up and lower and back. Good. And tap. Okay, great. Okay, so we reach for the second weight again. Again, go back to the chair there. And this is the last exercise before we'll sit down and do some upper body work. So with this one then, we're going to get a little push forward with alternating arms. Good. That's it. Try not to let the pelvis move, okay? And try not to rotate the upper body. Okay, so what's working there is the muscles at the front of the chest and the arm to push forward. Good. 2. Sit. Okay, now we're going to speed up. So again, a little bit of power to the upper body. 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, lower the 2 arms. And again, just place the weights down. Okay, so bring the chair up again. And again, keep the weights close to you because we'll need them. Okay, so a little breather then. Sitting up nice and tall in the chair. Arms down, reaching towards the back of the chair. So lengthening up, lengthening through the trunk, through the crown of the head, chin in, sitting nice and tall. So relaxing the 2 feet onto the floor and relaxing the backs of the thighs on the chair. So taking a breath in and breath out, bringing the chin to the chest and back up. Breath out as you go forward. Breath in, breath out as we come back up. That's it, nice and tall. Keeping again the center muscle set. So if you lose that, take a breath in, breath out. At the end of the breath out, just engage those lower tummy muscles below the navel. Good. Great. Okay, so sitting nice and tall, collarbones are nice and wide there, so the palms of the hands facing forward. Good, and reaching down, shoulder blades towards the waist. Good, so we're going to get a little turn to the right. Again, looking as far as you can, stretching out the muscles there on the left side, and back. Chin in, and then left. Again, stretching the right side of the neck, and back. Good. Right again. And back. And left. And back. That's it. And again. One more. And left. And back. Good. Okay, now this time then, I'm going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder and just using your right hand, getting a little stretch there. You should feel a stretch on the left side of the neck. Keeping the shoulder blade down again. And back up nice and tall. And switching sides. So left ear to the left shoulder, looking ahead all the time, and then reaching with the hand, getting a little stretch. Nice breath in and out. Get a little stretch there. Okay. We'll do one more each side then. Right ear to the right shoulder and stretch. And back. And the left ear. Getting a little stretch there. And back. Good. Okay, again, rolling the shoulders back and down. Okay, so from there then, walking out towards the front of the chair. That's it, we're using the bum. That's it, again, it's a great mobility exercise. So shifting the weight to one side and lifting the other side of your bum back. And then to come forward, again, shifting your weight and lifting the opposite side. Shifting the weight and lifting. So rather than using the hands all the time, keeping that ability there in the pelvic area. Okay, and again, sitting nice and tall. Breath in, breath out, and engage the center there. Okay, so chin in. That's it, just lengthening the back of the neck. And so 2 fingers on the chin, and pull the chin back away from your fingers. Good. And then letting it out again into your fingers. I'll just turn to the side. So pulling the chin back away from your fingers, feeling a little stretch there just at the bottom of the head. And back. One more now. You feel like you're making a little double chin there. Okay? But it's a really nice stretch for the myofascial tissue at the base of the skull. And let go. Okay. And back around then. Sitting up nice and tall again, towards the front of the chair, the front third of the chair. Now, this time we're going to float the 2 arms up to shoulder height. We're going to do a little arm opening exercise again to mobilize the thoracic spine. So sitting nice and tall, taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, reaching around to the right, just getting a little twist in the thoracic spine there. And the arm is going with the movement in the thoracic spine. And back. Good. Switching sides. Looking at the thumb all the time. And back. Trying to keep the legs steady, which is hard enough to do. Breath in before you start, and breath out with the movement. Breath in to hold, breath out. Breath in, breath out with the movement. Breath in to hold, and breath out. One more then. It's a really nice mobilizing exercise for the mid-back, which often gets quite tight. And back. Good. And down, stretching the arms back. Good. And let go. Okay, now we're going to put one arm on top of the other. Okay, and again, sitting nice and tall, lengthening up through the crown of your head. And again, breath in, breath out. To get a little spine twist around to the right. And back. Left. And back. Right again. And back. And left. You should feel your mid-back loosening there for this movement. And again. And back. And down. Good. Okay. And then getting a little stretch back then, again stretching out the front of the chest. Rolling the shoulders back, it's loosening out there. Okay, good. Now for the next one then, we're going to do our hundreds movement. So sitting up nice and tall, again 2 knees together, squeezing together to get the muscles on the inner thighs working. Also helps get the pelvic muscles working a little bit better and help improve stability there around the pelvis. So this time then we're going to reaching the arms down, fingers down towards the floor, lean forward again from the hips, not the low back, center engaged, and chin in, keeping the back of the neck long, and we're going to pulse the arms. So pulsing in for a count for 5, count of 5, and out as you breathe, that is, okay? So nice slow breath in, and out. Trying to keep the knees steady as you do the movement. And it's nice to think of just lying in the sand, splashing in the water. No worries. So try to move yourself off to a nicer place as you do this. Okay. And the other little bit of imagery you can use is as if you're bouncing a ball there behind. So keeping the knees squeezed together and reaching those middle finger down towards the floor as you reach back. Okay, now lifting the two heels, keeping the knees squeezed together. And we'll turn the hands. And again, pushing back now. Good, elbows are pretty much straight, shoulder blades down. So you shouldn't feel it at the top of the shoulders. If you're squeezing a tennis ball there between the lower shoulder blades. Keeping the chin in, don't let the chin poke forward or don't let the head hang. So keeping the chin in. Breath in and out. And one more. And out. Okay. And then lowering the heels and lowering the arms. Shaking out a little bit, roll back. Again, keeping nice and tall. Good. And then we're going to get a little side stretch. So just reaching down with the right arm, up with the left arm and across. Good. And again, it's the trunk that you want to get the stretch in. Breath in and out. Okay. Crossing in the center and then reaching. And this time then just letting your head go with the movement as well. And back. And reaching. And back. One more. And back. Good. Okay. Getting that feeling of length there in the trunk. Okay, so feet apart now. We're going to join our hands and just again, keeping the center set, reaching forward between the knees to the inside of the right ankle. Okay, keeping the chin in. This time take a breath in and breathe out, reaching around to the left. Looking at the thumb and stretching the hand back. Getting a little spiral there on the spine. So a nice big spine stretch. So we do 5. It's 1 and 2. Reaching back and back. Breath in, breath out with the movement. And back. 2 more. Breath out. And again. 1 more. A little spiral there. And back. Good. Okay, we will sit up again, nice and tall. Again, we're going to just adjust the pelvis a little bit. So 2 hands again on the brim of the pelvis, rolling back onto the tailbone and forward onto the sitting bone. Getting that movement down there in the pelvis, rolling back. Try to keep the shoulders steady and rolling forward. Good, so you feel the movement there as you roll back. You can see my fingers moving. And roll forward. Good, so you can see all my fingers there. And as I roll back, fingers are moving up and roll forward. And then roll back about halfway, stopping in the center. And again, 2 hands joined. We're going to reach down to the left side this time, to the inside of the left ankle. Breath in, breath out. As you reach around. Breath in on the way back. Breath out. Stretching back, stretching the hand back and back. Good. So looking at the thumb and back. 2 more. And again, last one. So reaching right around and back. Good. Okay, and then sitting up nice and tall again. So well done. That's a nice loosening section there for the spinal area. So we'll go back to using our weights again. A couple of more exercises in sitting. So again, turning around to pick up the weights. Okay, just to mind your back there as you do it. So we're going to work the hip and the muscles that support the knee a little bit with these 2 exercises. So first of all, engage the center. Make sure that your shoulder blades are down towards the waist. Taking a breath in, breathe out and lift the knee up towards you and lower. And then if you feel there's no soreness there with that movement, you can use your weight. Breath in, breath out with the movement. Breath in as you lower the leg, breath out. Good. And again, if you watch me, I'm trying not to move my upper body with this movement. Good. And again. And again. Good. Breath out with the movement. 2 more. And again. And down. Okay, so bringing the weight back, and just give the leg a little shake, and then just to get a little bit more mobility at the hip, roll that right knee out and back, and then lifting the leg out, just getting that rotation there at the hip. Good. Roll the knee and back and lift. Lifting back. 1 more now. And back and lift. Lifting back. Good. Sitting nice and tall there. Good. Okay, so left leg then. So again, we'll check the movement first. So breath in and breath out as you lift the knee. Good. And lower. Okay. So again, breath in. Sure your center is set. Tummy center engaged. Breath in, breath out. And again, this is a great exercise for anybody with a little bit of osteoporosis, as it's working the hip flexor muscles, which also helps support the tummy. And you can feel when your center is engaged that your tummy is working hard to do this movement. So those deep abdominal muscles, hip flexors, working hard, again to improve stability around the pelvis and around the hip joint. Good. So again, breath out as you lift. Good. And lower, nice and slowly. 1 more then. Breath out. Okay. Good. And again, bring the weight back. Roll the knee out. And back. And lift the leg. And back. Good. 2 more then. So a little roll at the knee. And back. And lift. And back. 1 more now. Again, getting that movement there around the hip. And back. Good. And give them a little shake. Okay, so sitting right back into your chair then. So again, make sure the chair is supporting you well. Good. And this time then, we're going to work the quadriceps muscle just above the knee, which again is really important for walking and for balance. So we'll do a little stretch there first. So we'll just straighten the leg out in front and just bending the foot up and down. Okay, I'll just move that. That's it. So just straightening out and just bend the foot up and down. So again, just mobilizing the muscles around the ankle there and the ankle joint. And then nice little circular movement at the ankle and back the opposite way. Okay, lower the right leg. And then the same with the left leg. So straight out, point the toes down away from you, point the toes up towards you. Good. Back of the thigh is on the chair for this. Good. And then the chair sideways, so you can see what I'm doing there. Up towards you and down. Good. And down. And then a little circular movement at the ankle. And back the other way. And I feel a little cracking if there's any scar tissue from previous sprains or that in the ankle. Okay, so now today turn to the side there, okay, just to show you this. So to start with the right leg, going to slide the leg back underneath, and then sliding the leg out and lifting straight out in front. Holding it for a moment, and then slowly lower back down. Nice, smooth, coordinated movement. And holding it, and down. Okay. So then when we've got our weights, we put our weights down. And then sitting there, then taking a breath in, breath out, and we'll add a little biceps curl to that movement, slowly down. So getting more than one muscle group working at a time. We're using the two arms for this. Again, really important to sit nice and tall, keeping the center engaged, and keep breathing with the movement. That's it. So don't let the leg or the arms fall down. So you're trying to control the movement as you lower down. And one more. And good. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the chair again so that I'm facing you. Okay, for the next one. So the next one then we're going to use our left leg, but we'll do a little shoulder movement with this. So breath in and breath out. Bringing the arms up, straightening the leg out in front, and lowering back down. Good. Breath out. So you don't have to lift the arms as high as I am. If you just want to go to there, that's fine. So depending, don't work into pain anyway, if there is pain in the shoulders or anywhere in the arm. Okay. And out. Slowly down again. And you want those muscles working on the way down. And again, it's quite a hard exercise. You don't have to do the upper body movement with it. You can just concentrate on the leg and even slow down a little bit more. That's it. So if your legs are particularly weak, just do the leg by itself. Okay, slowly out, holding it, and slowly down. Good. Again, making sure the back of the thigh doesn't come up from the chair as you straighten. And back. Great. Good. Okay, now I'm going to put the weights down again. I'm going to just leave them up off the table there. And just before we stand up to do a bit of standing, I'm going to do a little hamstring stretch. Again, I'll just turn to the side. So we'll straighten the left leg out in front. Just put your two hands on the right knee. And this time then, with the toes bent up towards you, sitting nice and tall, chin in, center engaged. Take a breath in, breathe out, and lean forward there. And you should feel a stretch there in the hamstring muscle, which is this big muscle down at the back. Good. Hold it then. And to hold it for about a count of 20. Good. Stretching a little bit further if you can, so lean forward a little bit more. And back. Okay, back up nice and tall. Switching sides then, leaning forward. That's it. Nice breath in and out. So the flexibility in the hamstrings, it's very important because in order to take a step when you're walking, the hamstrings need to maintain their length. And back. Good. And up. Very nice. Okay, so then we get into standing. My battery is running low. Now, nice little breather for you. Okay, now just move this back again, okay, to our chair. And this time we're going to stand again. And this time come to the back of the chair. So it might be good to have the chair up against the wall or that, but I won't for the moment that you can see me, see what I'm doing here. Okay, so we'll do a set of leg exercises in standing, okay, working all the bigger muscles around the hips and the knees and the ankles. Okay, so the first exercise we'll do then is just for the muscles that you need for walking at the front and the back of the hips. So again, lengthening up nice and tall. Feet apart, a little gap about hip width apart. Engage the centre muscles. Chin in, shoulder blades down towards your waist, ribs down. And you can hold if you need to or not, okay? You can hold with the two hands or with one hand, or you can hover both hands just at the chair there. Just that you, if you need it, you can hold on. Okay, so we're going to bring the left knee up in front and down, and then kick back behind. Okay, good. So up in front, down, and kick, and lower. Good. Lifting the knee, and down, kicking back, and lower onto the floor. Okay, so lift the knee and lower, kick the leg back, lower onto the floor. Okay, so we're using the muscles in the front of the thigh there to lift, lower down with control, then kicking back, using the muscles in the back pocket area to do the movement. Good. And down, kick back, and onto the floor. Making sure the 2 feet, there's a gap, that they're hip width apart. And try not to lean forward as you kick back. And again. Down, and kick, and lower. And again. We'll do 2 more. So a lot of combined movements in this section. Just really trying to work as many muscles as we can in the arm. Okay, we'll give the legs a little shake there. Okay, and then we'll switch sides. So the right leg, so knee up in front, and lower, kick back, and onto the floor. Good. So these are the muscles that you need for walking. Good. Okay. So as you kick back, trying to keep the knee straight. Will bend slightly, but trying to keep it straight. A good way to keep it straight is to bend the toes up towards you as you kick back. And kick. And lower. Let's try to stay nice and tall. We'll do 1 more. And if you need to take the weight off the leg you're standing on, just step off it at any stage during the exercises. Okay, so the next exercise then for the gluteal muscles on the side of the hip there. So taking a breath in and breathe out, lifting the leg out to the side and lowering with control. Okay, and you can hold on for this. Okay, good. So you want to try and stay nice and straight and not go to the side as you do the movement. Okay, so you want to get the movement in the leg. Okay. So try not to lift the pelvis as you do the movement, just lifting from the hip and the leg. Okay, so that pelvis is staying straight there as you lower. Good. It's better to hold on slightly and do the movement nice and slowly. Okay, if you're very good at it, you can take your hand away or hover, but just make sure that you're lowering the leg nice and slowly at the same time. Good. Okay. Good. 1 more now. And go. Okay, great. And then we'll do that on the opposite side. Okay, So again, you can turn and lower. Good. So again, staying nice and straight, and as if you're between two panes of glass at the front and back. Good. And also another tip, keeping that knee kind of soft, the leg you're standing on, but the other leg leading with the ankle as you bring the leg out to the side and lift. Good. And these muscles need to be strong in order to take proper steps while you're walking. And again, they're really important muscles for your balance and to help prevent falls. Just to maintain your steadiness when you're walking. 2 more. And again. Good. And slowly down. Okay, and again give the legs a little kick there. Okay, so for the next exercise then, we're going to bring our 2 heels together. Okay, and toes out, like Charlie Chaplin. And again, standing nice and tall, squeezing the heels together, and we're going to come up onto the toes and lower. Good. Up. Yeah, and lower. And again, you can hold slightly for this, or you can put your 2 hands on the hips. Okay? So really what I want to make sure is that you're squeezing the heels together on the way up, holding it, and on the way down. Keeping that little squeeze there. Standing nice and tall, and again watching where your shoulders are. So if you could do them maybe at a mirror, if you want to watch your posture, just to make sure that you're nice and tall, and that you don't have me to tap you on the shoulder or correct what you're doing at the moment. So just that you can keep an eye on what you're doing. Okay? So it'd be a good idea to do these exercises 2 or 3 times a week. And if you can use the weights, again, that would be a lot more beneficial than doing the exercises without using the weights. We'll do 2 more. Again, to get the most out of the exercises. And particularly at the moment when maybe none of us are getting out and about as much. And up. And down. Good. Okay. So we'll move on to the hamstring next. So this big muscle back there. So again, standing nice and tall, center engaged. So we'll start with the left leg. So sliding the leg back, bending the knee up, and slowly lower. Good. Okay, so again, the leg you're standing on, just make sure that it's slightly soft at the knee. Good. And again, if you look at my knee, I want to make sure that you're not bringing the knee up in front to do this movement. So if you find it hard to bend back and lower down, slide the leg back first and then bend and slowly lower down. Okay? Don't hold it in that bent position because it can cramp. So just nice, smooth, coordinated movement all the time. Again, keeping the pelvis steady. That's it. And again, the hamstring is really important for walking. Climbing stairs. If you're down, kneeling, squatting or that, getting up out of that position. Good. We'll do 1 more. And down. Okay, good. And then we'll switch sides. Okay. And again, just make sure you're standing nice and tall, that you've got that feeling of length as you're standing and down. Good. So don't stay too far away from the chair as we do this movement. And down. And again. Good. And 1 more now. and down. Good. Shake the legs out a little bit. So you're nearly there. We're getting there. We'll move down to the calf muscles now. And again, you can hold a little bit or not, okay? And so we come up onto the toes and down. Good. And again, up and down. Good. And again. Again, staying nice and tall. So rolling forward, up onto the toes, hold it, and down. And again, during the classes we've used some weights, just even holding the weights in the hand or doing some upper body movements as we do the leg exercises. So feel free to add in there if you want. Just for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to do that in standing, but do. Good. And down. Good. And again. Good. And there. And one more. And lower. Okay. So for the next exercise then, I want you to hold the chair and just lift the front of the feet. Okay? So actually what I'm going to do is sit down and maybe slip off the weights to do this one, because this is our last strengthening exercise, but also it's easier to do this movement without the weights on, just to restrict it. So these small weights can be got in Argos or lots of Elveries, or even some of the supermarkets would have them. Okay, standing nice and tall again, and then this time we're going to lift the toes and lower. So keep going there. I'm just going to adjust the camera slightly. Good. Standing nice and tall, and just lifting and lowering. So if you look there, I'm not leaning back or leaning back very little as I do it. Really what you're trying to do, again, the knees are slightly soft, just lifting and lowering, and lifting and lowering. Okay? And again. If you lean back during the movement, you're just leaning. You're not getting the small muscles around the ankles and just the muscles in the shin area there working. And these muscles are really important, again, for walking and to stop you from shuffling, to allow you to maintain that heel-toe gait where you're striking with the heel and pushing off with the toe as you're walking. Good. Okay, and down. Okay, and loosen out a little bit again. Okay, so we'll move on to some balance exercises then. So again, have the chair close by, and again, you can hold with 2 hands, 1 hand, or not holding at all. So the first exercise we'll do then is we'll just put our 2 feet together, okay? And we're going to stand in there now with the 2 feet together, just close the eyes. Again, concentrate on your breathing, making sure that you're getting the breath down into the lower part of the lungs as you do this. And then if you're able to, standing nice and tall, center engaged, turn with the eyes closed, turn the head from side to side. Okay? So we're just getting our vestibular system working a little bit there. And because our feet are close together, you're just reducing the base of support, which makes it a little bit harder to balance. Good. Side to side. So just looking as far as you can from side to side. Good. One more each side. And back. Good. And looking forward. Open the eyes. Good. And just separate the feet slightly. Okay. All right, so for the next one then, we're just going to put your finger out just at arm's length away, just in front of your face there. Okay, And from that position then, so staring at your finger, I'm going to get you to turn your head from side to side. It's at about 30 degrees each direction. Again, hold on if you need to. And if you find that difficult in standing, you can always do this in sitting. So you're trying to go quickly enough, kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So again, we're getting our vestibular system working here. And this is really important to allow you to maintain your stability as you turn your head, okay? And look. So maintain just stability, kind of your gaze stability as you turn the head. And it can often knock people off balance if they're not able to do this. But your brain can relearn to do it. So it's a really important exercise. Okay, and stopping at that and lower the hand down. So it can make you feel a little bit dizzy. If it does, sit down and it should pass off. Or don't do that exercise if it's too difficult. Like I said, you can always try it in sitting rather than doing it in standing, of course, which would be important. Okay, for the next exercise then, I'm going to get you to stand with one foot in front of the other, heel toe. And again, you've got the chair there if you need it, trying to get equal weight between the back foot and the front foot. And again, using the muscles around the ankles. Okay, trying to keep the shoulders steady and trying to keep the hips steady there. Okay, and if you're able to do that then without holding, so you're trying to work your balance. It needs to be challenged in order to work. Trying to do that without holding. And if you're able to do it successfully and easily enough, just add in little head turns, gently and slowly this time, from side to side. And you should feel the muscles working a little bit harder in the legs as you do that. Good. I can certainly feel mine working. You might need to take a little step, that's fine. Okay. And looking ahead again. Again, shifting the weight, forward, back leg, staying one foot in front of the other. Or if that's too difficult, you can just have a little gap between the feet, but you're in that step stride position. Okay, so there now at that, I'm going to get you to close the eyes. Again, have the chair there if you need it to hold. And again, concentrate on what's happening with the legs and what's happening with your feet. Good. Close the eyes. Hold if you need to, but again, even if it's just a slight touch, just to maintain your balance. So try and do it for a count of 10. And then again, after a count of 10, you feel comfortable enough, turn your head slightly from side to side. Okay? Again, that is quite a difficult exercise. Good. And one more. So about 5 times. Okay, open the eyes. Shake the legs out a little bit. Again, do a little circular movement at the ankle if you need to, and switch sides. So the opposite foot is in front. And again, you're going to stand. Again, thinking about your posture in that position. You're standing nice and tall. And again, once you get your balance, turning the head from side to side. So again, these are just really important exercises for your balance. If you retrain your balance and train your balance, work it, it will improve, no matter what age you are, even into your 90s. The research has shown that your balance can improve. Again, concentrate on the feet and just make sure your breathing is steady, that you're breathing through the bottom of the lungs there. Good. Again, looking ahead now and close the eyes. And you're trying not to hold, but if you need to, do. And really feel that you're using those leg muscles, equal weight between the two legs. And again, then after about a count of 10, turning the head. Breathing with the movement. and open the eyes. Everything is done nice and smoothly with control. Okay, so standing on the left leg now, and we're going to lift the right leg and trying to stand without holding. Again, a balance exercise. It also helps you get around crowded spaces and that, or cluttered areas, that you're able to walk as such. And again, this can be difficult if you've got a joint problem or muscle problem or any pain or that, but again, you're trying to do it without holding, trying to maintain it for 10 seconds. Again, keeping the legs together. Don't hook one behind the other, keeping them slightly apart. Okay, good. Take the legs out and switch sides. And again, one leg might be steadier than the other. That's normal. And again, keeping the knees soft, it's not locked straight. Good. And lower down. Okay, good. Okay, so we'll do a couple of walking exercises because you might be able to do this at home. I'll just show you within the confines of the camera there. But just a couple of exercises that you can do, maybe holding on to a countertop in the kitchen. So some side stepping. You could do 10 steps either side. Okay, not too big, but just shifting the weight. Stepping with the left leg, shifting the weight and bringing the right leg across. Good. That's it. Standing nice and tall, using the muscles, make sure that you're sideways as you do it. Again, as if you're walking between two panes of glass. Okay, so really good exercise. Okay, and again, always have something to hold on to there, like a countertop or a wall. And the next one then you could do is stepping backwards. Again, like you're walking backwards. Okay, movement from the hip, turn, and step. And again, just 5 or 6 steps, just that you know there's nothing there behind you, okay? That you're going to trip into. Again, this is really important because if you need to step out of somebody's way or open the fridge, open a door, if somebody goes to push against you or that you're able to hold your balance, turn and step. Shifting your weight onto each leg as you do. Good. Okay. So we can also do a little walking on the toes, walking on the heels. So you can come up on the toes and walk on the toes. Good. Lower the feet and turn. Up on the toes again and walk. Lower the heels, turn around. Up on the toes and walk. I have enough space there, but you might have more space at home. Up on the toes and walk. And lower. Okay, and then the next one's a little bit trickier, but again, really good for the muscles around the ankles. Walking on the heels. Okay? Good. So, that's it. And again, lower the toes and turn. Up on the toes. Up on the heels and walking. And again, if that was difficult to walk and do it, you could also try that for 20 or 30 seconds, just standing at a chair. But if you've got space, do up on the heels. Make sure you don't lean backwards, keeping your weight forward and walking. Again, you can hold on to do that. And turn. Up on the heels and walk. So you see there, just keeping the toes clear of the floor. Okay? And that's to help you then when you're walking, those two exercises. So when you're walking generally, strike with the heel, push off with the toe. Okay? Show you there again, strike with the heel, bring the weight forward over the hip, and pushing off with the toe to take a step. Okay, that's very good. And then another exercise that you could do, I'll just show you there with the weight, is just a figure of 8. Now again, just have something close to you that you can hold on to if you need to for this. And really, you don't need it on the floor, it's just to demonstrate really, just walking around and around. Okay? So you're just working on that ability to turn safely and to get around small spaces. Okay? So try not twisting the knees. The legs aren't crossing over as you do it, but your feet are staying side by side if you watch me, rather than crossing the legs over, but just practicing that movement. Okay. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. We'll do a little cool down then, so a little stretching movements. Like we do in the class, okay? To cool down. So again, this is really important after you do some exercises. We'll start with a calf stretch. So right leg back, left leg in front, okay? Leaning into the front leg, and again, it's something to hold on to doing that. Again, I'm not going to move that, but if you think you are, it's just to hold on to. If you think you are, make sure the chair is up against a wall or that. So you should feel a stretch in the calf muscle at the back, making sure the 2 feet are pointing ahead. And then if you want to add to that, reaching across with the right arm, getting a stretch there at the front of the hip. Nice breath in and out. Okay, lowering the arm down, leaning into the front foot, lifting the front heel up and down. Making sure the back leg stays straight, and very importantly, the back heel stays on the floor. Good. And back. Okay, and switch sides. Leaning into the front leg. This time then reaching across with the left arm. Getting a stretch there at the front. Keeping the back heel down. And the cool down just allows you to get back to normal just after exercising, and just keeps those muscles stretched out a little bit. Good. Bringing the arm down. And again, leaning into the front leg, lifting the heel. Keeping the back heel down. Okay, good. And then coming up nice and tall, adjusting your posture. Okay, standing nice and tall, feet about hip width apart. We bring the 2 arms out in front. And we're going to reach forward through the shoulder blades again, separating the shoulders. And then lowering the chin to the chest. And then back up, shoulder blades down. Lifting the arms up, overhead. And around and down. Okay, so we do one more there. Just turn to the side. So floating the arms up, reaching forward through the shoulder blades, chin to chest. Bringing the shoulders back and down. Lifting the arms. And this time holding the hands together, separating your feet, getting a little stretch to the right. And back. And left. And back. Good. Right again. And left. And down. Roll the shoulders back. And then bring the arms up behind. Making sure to lift the arms away from your spine. Nice breath in and out. Okay. Now. Okay. Well done, everybody. So I'd recommend that you try to do those exercises 2 or 3 times a week. You will feel better. If you can get into a routine of doing the exercises at a particular time of the day, morning is good, maybe even at the same time that you come to the class 2 or 3 days a week, because lots of your other activities will be curtailed at the moment. And even if you want to do part of the class and then do the rest of it the next day. And otherwise, stay well and stay healthy and just look after yourselves. Again, exercise and movement, it's good for our mental health as well as our physical well-being at the moment. And trying to maintain that half an hour of moderate exercise every day, at least half an hour, as well as getting out into the fresh air, and that should help us get through these trying times. and hopefully we'll see you all again soon.